And I think that's a big lesson I've learned is like the heart and the posture always stays the same, but the method will change based on where you're at. And then like a few years in, probably like 6 or 7 years in, we like realized we have multiple services now, multiple locations. And that process was getting harder. And we talked after like this realization of like, okay, this has worked up until this point, the way we've built the team. But now there's people who are sitting in our congregation who are part of our church. And they're not the first ones to like raise their hand, hey, I'm a drummer, or I'm a guitar player, I'm a vocalist. But usually those are the people you want, you know? So we decided to like kind of put together a process. So like most churches, there's a sign up form to serve at our church where you can like do a drop down and pick from all the different teams, whether it's parking lot, kids, you know, you name it, production. We still don't have a drop down for a worship team because we really view worship team as like a higher level of leadership in the church. But there's a little box. You can literally go to thebelonging.co right now and find it. But there's little boxes. If there's ever a need, I'd love to serve on the worship team. People can click that box. They can fill out a form of like where they've come from, what church they're a part of, what instrument they play, what location they go to. But it forces them to sign up on another team. And that's really our heart is like we want to know where the people are, who they are, but also like get involved somewhere else in the church. Because a lot of these guys, like they've only been guitar players at the church their whole lives. They've never served anywhere else. And they come and like get behind a monitor desk because they know how to mix ears, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful way for them to build a relationship, us to meet them, and
Know the
really
culture.
just like know the culture and get
Yeah.
planted in the church just because God's calling them there and their family is going to flourish there. And then so like if in Nashville, for instance, we have a low guitar players, we need more guitar players, we can have like a whole list of people who, you know, we know are in the church, we know they're serving. And then we can go to like the kids team and be like, hey, how's this person? Would they be a good fit for the worship team? So that's kind of how we've moved it. So it's like, you know, in the beginning, it was heart over gift, and it's still heart over gift, and it's still being planted over the gifting. We actually knew that we had to change our method to steward what God had brought.
Man, I love
And
that.
I think that's a big lesson I've learned is like the heart and the posture always stays the same, but the method will change based on where you're at. And I think so often in leadership, we get so stuck on like, well, this is how we've always done it, you know, and it worked and the church grew and it's beautiful. But God's like, yeah, the heart is still there, but your method is off.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's been so many moments like that where we've changed the method, but the heart and the posture. And like at the end of the day, we want to see God's presence fall. We want to lift up his name. We want to see people encounter him. That's always going to be the goal. But how we get there may look different depending on the season. So